So it's come to my attention that a few days ago, the trailer for War 2 came out. You'll recall, maybe, that War is a Bollywood movie from a few years ago that I made a little video about. One of my favorites. It's very homoerotic, kind of a Mission Impossible style action movie. And they announced immediately after the movie came out that they'd be doing a sequel, which makes sense. The movie made a lot of money, but it's been years. The first one came out 2019. And finally now in 2025, the trailer has been released. So this is a big day for me. And I wasn't planning to make any video about this, but I started watching the trailer on my phone, and 5 seconds in, I was like, I should be recording myself reacting to this. I already had some observations, And side note, of course, like I said, I moved, so welcome to my crib, as it were. I don't know that this will be my setup. I haven't recorded any YouTube stuff in here yet, so I haven't really made one yet. Of course, my skeleton's here, but other than that, I need to deal with this big bare wall and figure out my angle here, but, had to throw something together quickly. So a little background, I guess. I've been trying to kind of get back into my Bollywood mode recently. I rewatched Ajab Prem Ki Gazab Kahani, which was a favorite of mine in high school. That movie is really weird. Revisiting it, it's really weird, but I enjoyed it still. It's funny, it's cute. And yesterday I watched Bachna E Hasino, which is another early Ranbir Kapoor movie. I thought it was pretty good. And funnily enough, that one was directed by Siddharth Anand, who did War. I mean, he made the movie War. He didn't go to war, as far as I know. But anyway, yeah, the first one was directed by Siddharth Anand, who I think started mostly with romantic comedies, kind of typical Bollywood fare, and then over the years has gotten more into action. And I think he's a pretty good director, always really solid stuff for the most part. War 1, the first one, is not the greatest movie ever, but I think as a Bollywood action movie really succeeds. It's got some real emotional stuff going on there, good dialogue, etc. But now I'm seeing that this new one, War 2, is actually directed by Ayan Mukherjee, so they've got a different director this time. It looks like the dialogues are by the same person as the first one, Abbas Tayarwala. I actually like him a lot. He wrote and directed the rom-com Jaane Tu Ya Jaane Na, which is one of my favorites. I think he's a really good writer. I should clarify, if you're not familiar with Bollywood, they do this interesting thing where they kind of separate the screenwriting of the screenplay and what they call the dialogues in most movies. Sometimes they're written by the same person, but often you'll have a completely separate writer to write the dialogues, the talking, which I always find really interesting. And so when it comes to Bollywood Movie Awards, you'll have entire categories for best dialogues in addition to best screenplay, best writing, or whatever. I don't really know what that's about, where that comes from culturally, but it's interesting that they kind of distinguish between story, structure, whatever, and then the more poetic, lyrical dialogue. And it looks like the screenwriter, the screenplay screenwriter, is also the same as the first War. So that's kind of promising, I guess. Even if the director is different, at least they've brought back the writers, which does not always happen with Bollywood sequels. Often a Bollywood sequel will be practically an entire different standalone movie that just maybe reuses some of the same actors and, uses the same name. And it looks like this one stars, it's got Hrithik Roshan, who was one of the stars of the first one. The first one was Hrithik Roshan and Tiger Shroff. And they had their sort of homoerotic dynamic together. Sadly, it looks like Tiger Shroff is not returning in this one, which if you've seen the first War, you will understand why. But, I wish they could have come up with some convoluted way to bring him back. It looks like this new one will star Hrithik Roshan and NT Rama Rao Jr., who's a Telugu star. Okay, so he's a South Indian movie star. I have not watched as many South Indian movies, but I think I've heard this guy's name before at least. They might be doing that to try and get more of an audience crossover from both North and South Indian audiences. I feel you're seeing that more and more, where South Indian directors will come direct a North Indian, a Bollywood movie, and the actors will, there'll be more crossover, presumably to attract a larger audience. And the songs will be by Pritam, so that's new. The first one, the songs were by the composing duo Vishal Shekhar, and this one is Pritam. Those are both really popular Bollywood music composers. You know, most Bollywood movies will have like a score, usually written by its own composer, and then they'll have their songs, their musical numbers, which are usually written by distinct composers. And those composers can be really famous. They're like, you know, the music stars of India in a lot of ways. So Pritam is a really popular one. I definitely am a fan of some Pritam albums. At the same time, I feel like sometimes his songs can feel kind of generic to me, maybe because he is like such a ubiquitous composer, but also like some Bollywood composers have a really distinct sound, you know, like an A.R. Rahman or a Shankar Ehsaan Loy or like an Amit Trivedi. And I feel like Pritam is not really one of those composers. Like he kind of just goes for like a generic like Bollywood sound or a generic kind of pop sound. That's my opinion. But it's not like Vishal Shekhar, who did the first movie, are that different. I think they're kind of, that's probably like a lateral move to go from Vishal Shekhar to Pritam. Sound off in the comments if there are like 2 of you out there who have an opinion on this. Anyway, let's do this. Let's watch the trailer. I'm gonna screen record on my phone and hopefully I will find a way to sync that up.
मैं शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं अपना नाम, अपनी पहचान,
What was, wait a minute.
अपना घर, परिवार सब त्याग कर एक साया बन जाऊंगा.
Yeah, okay. Why is there a wolf? Right off the bat, why is there a wolf? On the other hand, that feels so apt, you know? It's kind of like the physical embodiment of those like silly memes or even like, you know, Instagram motivational like manosphere type things that'll be like a wolf ripping its shirt off and it's, or like a wolf like walking sadly in the rain, and it'll have text that's like, in a world of sheep, you are a wolf or something. That does feel very kind of in line with the type of tone and overall vibe cultivated by the war movies. But I'm excited to see if the wolf like plays into the plot, right? Like is the wolf Kabir, is the wolf Hrithik Roshan's new partner or something?
बेनाम अनजान साया.
मैं शपथ लेता हूं मैं वो सब करूंगा जो कोई और नहीं कर सकता.
Oh, that's like a new voice. So that's the South Indian actor.
वो मैं लड़ूंगा.
Okay.
हर दोस्त, हर साथी, हर उस चेहरे से मुंह मोड़ लूंगा.
Oh, okay. So yeah, in the first movie, Hrithik Roshan had kind of a love interest played by Vani Kapoor, and she, okay, spoilers for war, she died. So obviously they've brought in a new love interest for this one. She appears to be played by Kiara Advani, who is a pretty popular Bollywood star right now. I like her. I haven't seen her in that much, but that's, okay, he has a love interest. I'm like worried that this one won't have the homoeroticism of the first. But that being said, there are still 2 male stars, and like Ayan Mukherjee is kind of, he can be a homoerotic director. So hopefully, like I'm gonna go in with an open mind.
और पलटकर कभी पीछे नहीं देखूंगा.
I wonder, wouldn't it be funny if Kiara Advani's character also died in this one? Like, just every female love interest dies in every war movie?
मैं वो बलिदान दूंगा जिसका कोई गवाह नहीं होगा.
Okay. This is a win for all the Khalid Kabir shippers. Let's run that one back.
मैं वो बलिदान दूंगा जिसका कोई गवाह नहीं होगा.
You guys. So in the first one, I should just put like a blanket spoiler warning on this entire video because like I'm gonna have to talk about the plot of War. And yeah, the War is a very like spoilery movie. Like I can't tell you what happened in War without ruining the entire movie. But basically, if you've seen the movie, you'll know Khalid, Tiger Shroff's character in the first one, he died. And in fact, he not only did he die, but then an evil guy stole his face. And that was the whole plot of the second act of the movie. But anyway, in this one, apparently Hrithik is like he's still thinking about his lost love, Khalid. He's still looking at his picture on the wall, sadly. That's a win. I take that as an absolute win. Love that. Ooh, she's like a femme fatale. She turns on him. A fight scene on top of a plane. I like it. Like the lighting there.
Service before self.
India first.
Okay, so they're like repeating what sounds like vows of some sort, and I know that these movies are about like agents in RAW, the RAW, which is like, is it research and analysis wing or something? It's sort of, I think it's sort of like India's like CIA. It's like where spies would be. And so there are a lot of like Indian action movies about people in the RAW. And I wonder if what they're like reciting there is like the oath that you take when you become an agent or something. I don't know. It kind of has that vibe. And of course, India first. A lot of Bollywood movies are very like nationalistic, very patriotic. Ooh, okay, boat fight scene, boat explosions, I like that too. Like, top of the convertible flying off. Ooh, big boat. Okay, and they're in like the tundra. It kind of feels like they're very deliberately trying to like almost recreate every action set piece from the first film, like in different ways to their credit. But you know, the first film has like Hrithik Roshan doing this intense, like climbing the outside of a moving plane and then doing a fight scene in the plane. It looks like there's like a revamped plane fight scene in this one. We saw like they're driving through the frozen tundra or whatever, which is also a thing in the first film. There's like a big boat stuck in the ice, which is also in the first. So it feels like they're sort of intentionally doing these like visual references to the first film, which is interesting. Ooh. Okay, I liked that. I liked all the swords coming together. Heroes will fall. The train, oh my god, the train, let's go back. Yeah, a train like hitting a car and still moving. I like that. I'm excited for that. Warriors will rise. Ooh, he's in like a cave? I don't know what that means.
He's a soldier.
He's a soldier.
You are a soldier.
You're a soldier.
And this is war.
And this is war. Hell yeah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Their fists meeting in midair. That feels homoerotic. Like if I were to really, I could get into it, but I won't. So I do like this. Let me go back. It looks like they're having some sort of final climactic showdown in like a frozen cave, which I think is an inspired choice. One thing I like about this type of sequel is like, obviously they feel the need to try and like one-up themselves and make something even bigger, even crazier than the first one. And the first one is already pretty big and crazy. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see like how they manage to escalate and up the ante, because I think that'll be very entertaining. Ooh. Yeah, that's another thing, is like the score from the first war movie is kind of iconic, I feel. They had a really good like central hook that they kept playing, and then they just played a little bit of that at the end of the trailer. I think that's a pretty good trailer. I'm adequately hyped. It got me hyped. Let's check in on the comments though, because I'm kind of curious what other people are saying. Where are the days when real, gritty action was shot on actual locations instead of green screens? I mean, true, I guess. But also, like, if you watch, like, old Bollywood action movies, as in, like, 90s Bollywood action movies, I think I'm okay with not going back to that. It's also, like, to their credit, like, I feel like in that trailer, it kind of looked like they were on location a good amount. Like, I'm sure most of it was sets, but, like, they're not, like, on green screens the whole time. It didn't seem to me. Like, that cave, that was a real cave. I mean, maybe not, like, a real cave, but it was a set that looked like a cave. Somebody says NTR, tiger emoji, plus Hrithik, lion emoji, equals a bunch of explosion emojis, 100 emoji. So I think that is a good sign. Somebody says Hrithik with his presence, in parentheses, aura. I guess I would agree. Hrithik's bicep emoji, walking, and the wolf, 2 mind-blown emojis, totally farming aura, and the trailer, goosebumps, explosion emojis. Yeah, this guy gets it, okay? Hrithik flying, NTR roaring, fans dying, 2 fire emojis. Hell yeah. So a lot of people seem very excited about this like combination of Hrithik Roshan and NTR. So again, I am like not cultured enough to know much about NTR, haven't watched a lot of Telugu films, but seems like they both have huge fan bases, which doesn't surprise me. I'm sure like financially, like it's probably going to blow this movie out of the water to have that combination of like 2 film industries meeting. And oh yeah, the studio is referring to these movies as like the YRF is the studio, the YRF spy universe, which I think is so funny. It's like their MCU. It's these 2 war movies, and then also the Shah Rukh Khan movie Pathaan was part of the YRF spy universe. And I think Hrithik Roshan, as his character in this Kabir, had a cameo in Pathaan. Pathaan is part of it. I did see Pathaan. I honestly don't remember that much about it. I remember the song, right? Jume jo Pathaan meri jaan. And, you know, Shah Rukh Khan was cool in it. You know, it wasn't as memorable to me as War. I remember that. I was like, this is fine. It's no war. Yeah, overall, I would say I'm hyped. I'm definitely going to see this movie. I'm going to try and see it in theaters, which was a lot easier for me when I lived in London. Not as easy for me now back in Minnesota. Like, you can find Bollywood movies in theaters, but pretty occasionally. But I'm hoping that like this is a big enough one that I should be able to find it somewhere, even if it's in like Eden Prairie or something. And again, I am a little sad. I've been thinking about this the last couple days as I've been getting back into Bollywood. I have just been feeling kind of mournful in general that we're probably never going to get our sequel to War, where Tiger Shroff comes back and he and Hrithik Roshan fall in love. And that just pains me. It really does. So I was glad to see like some acknowledgement of the angst there in the trailer, but you know, I could have used more of that. I really could have. Anyway, I was thinking of maybe doing a Patreon video soon where I just sit down and like ramble about Bollywood, because as you can probably tell, I have truly so much like random knowledge about it that I don't get to share with anyone. You know, nobody in my life is into Bollywood, or if they are, it's only a little bit and only because I've shown them some Bollywood movies. And so I really have no outlet, which is kind of the whole reason I created my YouTube channel in the first place. So I've always thought like it would be fun to just sit down, write down some talking points for like subjects about Bollywood that I would like to discuss, and just like go off, no matter how uninteresting it is for any of you, just spend some time talking about it. So now that I'm like back in my Bollywood groove, I might do that sometime soon. Let me know in the comments what you think of War 2. Is it gonna live up to War 1? Does Hrithik Roshan have that aura? Let me know.